Worlds Collide, WWE versus Triple A, wrestling for the ages, live from California and Viva Las Mexico. It's your boy Icon with another wrestling review for you, going over that Triple A. And before we get started, hit that notification bell, like it or subscribe. Check out my other videos and let's boost those watch time hours. So this was a good show. You know, like I caught it on YouTube, obviously, along with the rest of the world. And it's like, you know, it's Mexican, you know it's a Spanish-based product, but then like when everyone started talking in Spanish, I was like, oh shit, yeah, that's right. You know, we had Corey Graves and Conan on commentary. Conan, I mean, his commentary, I don't know. I mean, I know he's had like, you know, health issues and everything like that, but I mean, I would have liked for him to be a little bit more excited or not as dry with the commentary, because there were times where Corey Graves was trying to be comedic or make light of a situation, and Conan just gave like the driest response of all time. He said something about Rey Mysterio, and then Conan was just like, well, I trained him. And I'm like, damn, dude, like, you know, like a little bit more oomph. But anyway, I guess, you know, the main event is Chad Gable versus Vikingo, you know, for the Mega Championship. But we do have some undercards. So let's get started with the first match for Triple A. And I will say this before the show even starts, because Triple H and Shawn Michaels were there. They did the, you know, the Mexican national anthem, and then Lillian Garcia, she did the American national anthem. And for the love of God, the Mexican like national anthem, that shit is long as hell. That girl was up there for like 20 minutes saying that. I was like, I need to translate this in English. I need to know how, like, I need to know what these words are about, because I'm like, damn, this shit took forever. But it was still a nice song, and she got a standing ovation. So moving right along, let's get started with the first match. So the first match was six-man tag team action, or trios action, as they like to call it. I don't know a lot of these people. What was it? Octagon Jr., Aerostar, and the Lizard, like the Lizard guy, versus Lince Dorado, Cruz del Toro, and Dragon Lee. And this was you know, this was a good match, a good six-man tag team action. Dominic Mysterio and Liv, they were in the audience. And at the end of the match, the team of the Lizard and Octagon and the other guy, they reigned supreme, and they won the match, which was surprising. I was actually surprised that you know, the Dragon Lee team didn't come away with the victory. And then after the match, like after the match was over, Dominic Mysterio basically ran up on, you know, he grabbed the microphone, he was talking that shit, and then I don't know. I mean, he was talking in Spanish. I guess he was saying like he's the greatest luchador of all time. And then Octagon, because Octagon is like the biggest Rey Mysterio fan or whatever, Octagon got in Dominic's face. Dominic shoved him, the two, and then kudos to Dominic. He actually, like, he wasn't like running like a coward. Like, he actually fought him, you know, like straight up. Like, he actually like went for his. And then, you know, they had to be separated, broken apart. And then that's when, you know, Dominic challenged him to a match at Money in the Bank for the Intercontinental Championship. So we're going to get an extra match at Money in the Bank. It's going to be Octagon Jr. versus Dominic Mysterio for the IC title. So that was a nice, good opener. And now we're moving on to the next one. The next match was the women's tag team match, the only women's match on the card. Dallos and Cheek Mortenta versus Stephanie Vaquer and Lola Vice. Lola Vice looked good. Like, she looked good. And I mean, I'm sorry. I watched the match. I enjoyed the match. I enjoyed seeing Lola Vice, you know, because like when I'm watching Lola Vice, I'm just like, why are we not using her more? Like, she needs to be used more. And it's always good to see Stephanie Vaquer. This is her last, I guess, non-main roster event, you know, for a while, because she's now officially called up to the main roster. But the other two women, like, I know they're legends and I know like they're greats, but it was but it's like, first of all, they came out looking like two tias, and you know, it was clear that they couldn't really hang with the younger girls. You know, like, there were some movements there that just didn't mesh well for me. But I mean, but for their age, they did put on a, you know, like a good bout. So I said it was a good bout, but you weren't going to beat Lola Vice and Stephanie Vaquer, and that's exactly what happened. So, you know, Lola Vice, you know, they both did the you know, the devil's kiss, but I like to call it the pound cake. They both did the devil's kiss, and the cameraman did us a huge disservice by not getting a shot of Lola Vice doing the devil's kiss. So I was very disappointed about that. But in the end, you know, Lola Vice and Stephanie Vaquer, they actually obtained victory. They did a little booty bump, and, you know, like, they reigned supreme. And now no post-match conversation or anything. That was it. So let's move on to the next one. The next match was Wagner, the Psycho Clown, and somebody else versus Legado del Fantasma, the Paragon or something. And I was surprised because Legado came dressed for war. And I was just like, well, it's a AAA event. You got like these three AAA guys that everybody knows, and you got Legado del Fantasma, who haven't done jack ish on the main roster for WWE. They've legitimately done nothing. So I was just like, yeah, this will be a good enhancement match just to put the AAA Lucha guys on the map. And surprise, surprise, Legado del Fantasma won the match. So this whole thing, like this deception in the ranks with Berto trying to leave, I hope that's over now and they can actually do something with the three of them and focus on the three of them. Like right now, well, the United States champion right now is Jacob Fatu. So I mean, unless they do a match where they do, Santos Escobar versus Jacob Fatu, which they're probably not going to do. Maybe, call Legado, like trade Legado to Raw, like put them on Raw, have them fight with some people on Raw, because, I mean, the fact that they won this match here at the Triple H shows that they should be doing stuff. They should be really doing stuff. They should be doing more with Legado del Fantasma, and I'm still upset that they kicked they released Elektra Lopez, because I thought she was perfect in the group, La Mandarina, but I've seen her on social media. She's doing other things now, but I'm actually upset to see her go, because I thought she was a good fit, but kudos to Legado del Fantasma for picking up the win, and I hope that they can use this momentum to do more things on SmackDown on the WWE roster. And then was the match that stole the show, Ladrigo versus Rey Fenix versus Javon Evans versus Ethan Page for the North American Championship, and Javon Evans and Ethan Page look like fish out of water here, but it was, like I said, this match actually stole the show because the action was fast, and to be a fatal four-way, to have like the transitions and the acrobatics and like the high flying, like with four people involved, they definitely kept the pace going and they kept the crowd interested. They got the "This is awesome" chant, and to Ethan Page's credit, because this match featured some of the greatest acrobatics and high flyers of all time and Ethan Page. It was just funny because Ethan Page pretty much like cheated the whole match. Like Ethan Page's whole thing was, I'm gonna let them kill each other and do all this high flying crap, and every time they do something to each other where they almost kill each other, I'm gonna sneak in at the last second and try to get the pin. That's all he did. It was like this guy off the top rope, 1360 splash. Ethan Page throws him out the ring, tries to get the pin. Javon Evans, cutter off the top rope. Ethan Page throws him out the ring, tries to get the. He did it so much, and then it finally worked when the cutter was hit. When Javon Evans hit the cutter on, I believe it was not Phoenix, the other one. When he hit the cutter on him, Ethan Page grabbed Javon Evans and threw him into the guy who was on the floor. So that took both of them out, and then he hit the cutter on the kid, and then he got the 1-2-3 victory. So I mean, well, Ethan Page, the only non Latino to pull off a victory tonight. So kudos to him for that. All Ego is still the North American champion. And I thought they were going to put the belt on Javon Evans at this point. I thought that's where we were going, but they didn't. And, it's like, well, I guess NXT had to get one. So that was the one that we got. And, we're moving on. And congratulations to All Ego, Ethan Page. And finally, the main event, Chad Gable, American Made, versus Vikingo, the Mega Champion. And I was rooting for Chad Gable. I'm sorry. I was rooting. It's not even about Mexico versus America. Chad Gable has proven he deserves a championship. He deserves a run. I mean, I haven't seen Money in the Bank yet. I'm rooting for Grande Americano to win Money in the Bank. Chad Gable, he needs the gold, sucker. And Vikingo, and the thing is, but I knew he wasn't going to win because Vikingo just won the belt from Alberto El Patron. So because he just beat Alberto for the title, he wasn't going to lose to Chad Gable, especially not in the first match in the new AAA under the WWE regime where they're supposed to be focused on the luchadors. They weren't going to put the belt on Chad Gable. Had Vikingo been the champion for like a long time, then maybe they would have just for the shock value, but he just won the belt, so I knew that was going to happen. And these two killed, like, this match was actually so good. There were moments where I said, Chad's not going to make it to Money in the Bank dressed as Grande Americana. He's not going to make it because, I mean, the Poison Ranas, the Hurricanranas, the dives, like the stuff on the apron, the 360, 490 splashes, the suplexes, like all that stuff. Like, these two beat the shit out of each other, and they definitely brought the house down and put the respect like on the lucha, on the American and the Lucha Libre scene. Like this was a perfect blend of worlds colliding and both parties coming together, two styles coming together, and I greatly enjoyed it. But in the end, like after he suffered like a knee injury, he was still able to press on, and Vikingo got Chad Gable down at one point, and then he basically hit the Ricochet move. What is it, the 680? He hit the Ricochet on him, and then he actually got the 1-2-3 victory, and he pinned Chad Gable. And then I wasn't happy about that, but I was like, yo, respect to Vikingo, because you did the damn thing. Like, you proved who you are, you proved what Lucha Libre is, and I salute you for your efforts in the ring. So that was it. So yeah, and thank you for tuning in. Let me know what you thought about Worlds Collide. If you watched it, like, what was your favorite match? Like I said, I kind of like the Fatal 4-Way. I definitely like the women's match, and like the main event is definitely something I could watch again. But share your thoughts. What did you think was the best part about this particular match? And we will continue to talk about it. Check out my other reviews, because I'm also gonna do Money in the Bank. We got the Money in the Bank coming up. I'm going to Brooklyn Comic-Con, so look out for my videos for Brooklyn Comic-Con for all you comic book nerds and everything else in between. And we'll keep rolling on for some more of this goodness between superheroes, comic books, anime, wrestling, and every single thing in between. So that was it, guys. So thank you for tuning in. So until next time for MIB action, signing off for Worlds Collide. Until then, Viva Las Mexico, and we're out this.